God wants to hear you. Come, come.
In the quiet hours when the world exhales and the lights dim their questions, you see what stays awake inside us. The tears that never learned how to fall in daylight, the ache folded carefully beneath brave faces and practiced smiles, the prayers whispered without sound because even hope feels tired. And in this darkness you do not accuse the night, you enter it, walking softly across the floors of our hearts, counting breaths, holding the places where courage thins, reminding us that sorrow does not disqualify love and silence does not mean absence. For you have always been near when words ran out, nearer still when sleep refused to come. And if you feel able right now, let your guarded heart lean a little toward me, because I am not startled by what hurts. I am gentle with what bleeds unseen, and I gather every tear that hides in pillows, every fear that waits for morning, teaching us that even when we feel alone with our thoughts, we are still accompanied by mercy that listens through the night. As the night stretches long and thoughts replay themselves like quiet echoes, you remain attentive to the moments when memory feels heavier than rest, when regrets surface uninvited and old wounds speak louder after midnight. And still you do not rush us toward answers. You sit with us in the unresolved spaces, allowing grief to breathe without judgment, understanding that healing often begins where pretending ends. And you cradle the heart that feels fragile, not demanding strength, but offering presence, reminding us that tears shed in secret are not wasted, but watered into something sacred. And in this stillness you teach us that endurance is not loud, it is faithful. And if something within you longs to be seen without explanation right now, allow yourself to turn gently toward me, because I am patient with the parts of you that are still learning how to trust. And I remain through every restless hour until peace finds its way back to your breathing. When the world sleeps and distractions loosen their grip, you know how the mind wanders into corridors it avoids by day, replaying conversations, reliving losses, questioning choices that can no longer be changed. And in those moments, you do not silence us. You listen, letting the weight be spoken even when it has no clear language. Understanding that the soul often processes truth in whispers and tears rather than conclusions. And you remind us that regret is not our identity, and pain is not our future. They are chapters being read slowly, tenderly, under your watchful care. And if tonight you feel the urge to release what you have been holding too tightly, allow yourself to place it gently into my hands, because I am steady where you feel uncertain, and I carry what feels too heavy to hold alone, staying with you as the night teaches your heart how to rest again. As hours pass and the ceiling becomes a familiar witness, you notice how exhaustion softens our defenses, how emotions slip out from behind their careful walls, and you meet us there without surprise, knowing that nighttime honesty often carries the truest version of who we are, the fears we manage well by day and the longings we rarely name, and you stay unhurried, teaching us that rest is not only sleep but being held without having to explain ourselves, reminding us that even unanswered questions can coexist with faith, and that uncertainty does not offend you. It invites your nearness. And if right now your soul feels tired of being strong, let it rest quietly with me for a moment, because I am not asking you to resolve everything tonight. I am simply staying, breathing peace into the spaces where worry once paced, until your heart remembers that it is safe to soften in the dark. In the depth of night where time feels slower and every sound seems amplified, you attend to the subtle trembling we try to ignore, the quiet fear that tomorrow will demand more than we have, the sadness that arrives without explanation and lingers like a shadow at the edge of thought, and you do not rush us past it. You allow the ache to be felt fully, knowing that honesty is a doorway to healing. And you remind us that even when emotions feel tangled and overwhelming, they are not signs of weakness, but signals of a heart still alive, still hoping. And if it feels right in this moment, allow your breathing to sync with my presence, because I am steady when your thoughts scatter, faithful when the night feels endless, and I remain close, gently guarding your heart as the darkness slowly learns it does not have the final word. As the night deepens and silence settles like a blanket, you notice how our thoughts finally slow enough for truth to surface, how feelings we postponed all day begin to speak softly, and you welcome them without urgency, teaching us that healing is not rushed, but revealed over time, reminding us that you are present not only in clarity, but also in confusion, not only in strength, but in fatigue, and you stay close while the heart sorts what it cannot yet name. And if you sense a quiet need to be comforted rather than fixed, let yourself draw near to me now, because I am gentle with unfinished stories, patient with fragile faith, and faithful through every unseen tear until rest begins to find you again. When the night lingers and sleep hesitates at the door, you see how our hearts begin to speak more honestly, how layers peel away, and what remains is vulnerability without armor, memories without filters, questions without rehearsed answers. And you do not turn away from that exposure. You stay, steady and attentive, allowing the soul to unfold at its own pace, reminding us that nothing revealed in the dark diminishes us in your eyes, that pain acknowledged is pain already being touched by grace. And if somewhere inside you there is a quiet desire to be understood without needing to explain everything, let that desire rise toward me now, because I am not impatient with your process. I am present within it, holding each hidden tear with care, while the night gently teaches your heart that it does not have to carry everything alone. As the hours stretch and the mind drifts between memory and imagination, you remain attentive to the subtle weight that presses on the chest, the thoughts that circle without landing, the emotions that feel too tender for daylight, and you do not demand resolution before rest. You offer companionship instead, sitting with us in the unfinished places, reminding us that being awake in the night does not mean being abandoned, that silence is often where your presence speaks most gently, and if you feel a quiet longing for reassurance right now, allow that longing to turn toward me, because I am calm where you feel restless, constant where you feel unsure, and I stay through the slow passing of time, guarding your heart with a peace that does not rush but remains. In these late moments when the body is still but the soul keeps watch, you notice how we replay what was said and what was never said, how the heart edits the past searching for relief, and you do not shame us for revisiting old rooms. You walk with us through them, steady and compassionate, reminding us that reflection is not failure and remembering is not rebellion. It is the soul trying to heal, and you breathe patience into our racing thoughts, softening their sharp edges with kindness. And if you sense a gentle pull to lay down the weight of yesterday right now, let it slip into my care, because I am tender with what still aches, faithful with what feels unresolved, and present through every quiet moment, until the night loosens its grip on your heart. As darkness holds its breath and the clock marks time softly, you are aware of how loneliness can feel louder at night, how the absence of voices makes room for fears to speak, and you meet us there without interruption, reminding us that solitude does not equal isolation when your presence fills the room, that even unseen companionship can steady a trembling heart, and you gently redirect our focus from what is missing to what remains faithful, unchanging, near. And if your spirit longs to feel accompanied in this quiet hour, let it turn toward me now, because I am closer than your next breath, constant when the world feels distant, and committed to staying until comfort settles where unease once lived. When the night feels endless and the future presses in without shape or certainty, you sense how our courage thins in the quiet, how questions grow heavier without distraction, and you do not overwhelm us with answers. You anchor us with presence, teaching us that faith sometimes looks like staying still rather than moving forward, and you hold the fragile places where hope feels delayed, reminding us that waiting does not mean forgotten. And if your heart needs permission to pause without guilt right now, allow yourself to rest in me for a moment, because I am not measuring your progress tonight. I am sustaining your soul, staying near as patience gently replaces fear and the darkness learns to soften around you. As the night carries on and the body longs for rest while the mind resists surrender, you recognize how control loosens and emotions surface unguarded, how we finally admit what we cannot manage and what we cannot fix, and you receive that honesty without disappointment, reminding us that dependence is not failure, but trust in its most human form. And you steady our breathing when anxiety tightens its grip, teaching us that calm can be learned slowly, gently, one moment at a time. And if there is a quiet need inside you to stop holding everything together right now, allow that need to turn toward me, because I am strong where you feel worn, patient where you feel rushed, and present through this hour as the night slowly teaches your heart how to release and remain. In the stillness where even prayer feels heavier than usual, you see how words sometimes fail and only feeling remains, how the soul communicates through sighs and tears rather than sentences, and you honor that language without correction, reminding us that you understand what the heart means even when the mouth stays quiet, and you sit with us as thoughts rise and fall like waves, never rushing the tide, never demanding calm before you offer comfort. And if right now you sense a quiet urge to be held rather than heard, let that urge lean toward me, because I am attentive to what cannot be explained, faithful to what is unfinished, and close in this sacred silence where hidden tears finally feel safe. As the night moves closer to morning yet feels far from relief, you notice how vulnerability deepens when hope feels thin, how we question whether strength will return with the light, and you do not dismiss that fear. You sit with it, reminding us that endurance is often formed in unseen hours, that resilience grows quietly where no one applauds, and you reassure us that weakness confessed is not weakness exposed, but a heart trusting you with truth. And if your spirit needs reassurance that this tired place is not the end of your story, let it reach gently toward me now, because I am already at work beneath the surface, steady and faithful, holding you through the night until courage begins to breathe again. In the hush before dawn, when shadows stretch and the mind weighs possibilities, you are aware of how we rehearse tomorrow while still carrying yesterday, how fatigue blurs hope and makes small worries feel enormous. And you do not scold us for that tension. You meet it with steadiness, reminding us that tomorrow does not require all its strength from us tonight, and you ease the pressure to prepare, to solve, to be ready for everything at once. And if you feel the need to release the burden of what has not yet arrived, let your thoughts rest with me now, because I am already present in what comes next, faithful ahead of you, and gentle enough to carry you from this night into whatever waits beyond it. As the quiet deepens and the world feels distant, you notice how the heart grows honest when no one is watching, how truths we hide by day surface gently in the dark, and you receive them without alarm, without judgment, letting us be fully seen, without needing to be fixed, reminding us that transparency with you is a place of safety, not risk, and that nothing confessed here will be used against us. And you steady the soul that feels exposed, covering it with mercy instead of expectation. And if you feel a quiet pull to trust me with what you usually protect, let that trust open slowly now, because I am careful with fragile places, faithful with secrets spoken in tears, and present in this still hour where healing begins without noise. When the night grows thin and sleep comes in fragments, you sense how the heart keeps score of losses and hopes, how it whispers questions about worth and timing, and you answer not with explanations but with nearness, teaching us that being held can matter more than being understood, and you soften the inner critic that speaks harshly after dark, replacing its edges with compassion, reminding us that mercy is stronger than self-judgment. And if your spirit longs for relief from the voice that condemns, let it turn quietly toward me now, because I am kind where you are hard on yourself, faithful when patience runs low, and present in this gentle pause where the night learns to loosen its grip. As the night prepares to give way, yet hesitates at the edge of light, you notice how the heart feels suspended between what was and what will be, unsure whether to brace itself or hope again. And you stand in that in-between space with us, reminding us that transition does not require certainty, only presence, and that it is safe to arrive slowly into a new moment. And you calm the fear that whispers that nothing will change, offering quiet assurance without forcing belief. And if something inside you longs to trust that this darkness is not permanent, allow that longing to turn toward me now, because I am already shaping dawn where you cannot yet see it, steady and near, holding you gently as the night loosens and the soul prepares to breathe again. As the night prepares to give way yet hesitates at the edge of light, you notice how the heart feels suspended between what was and what will be, unsure whether to brace itself or hope again. And you stand in that in-between space with us, reminding us that transition does not require certainty, only presence, and that it is safe to arrive slowly into a new moment. And you calm the fear that whispers that nothing will change, offering quiet assurance without forcing belief. And if something inside you longs to trust that this darkness is not permanent, allow that longing to turn toward me now, because I am already shaping dawn where you cannot yet see it, steady and near, holding you gently as the night loosens and the soul prepares to breathe again. As the last shadows retreat and the night exhales its hold, you remain with us, honoring every tear that fell unseen and every prayer that never found words, reminding us that nothing endured in the dark was meaningless or ignored, that you were present in every breath, every pause, every fragile moment of survival, and you gather what the night revealed and carry it gently toward the light, not erasing the pain but redeeming it, teaching us that sorrow can pass through your hands and return as quiet strength. And if you feel ready now to entrust the whole night to me, even the parts that still ache, let that surrender rise softly, because I bless you with rest deeper than sleep, with peace that lingers beyond dawn, with hope that walks beside you into the day, and with the assurance that you are held, known, and never alone.
Breathe for a moment. God is here. He wants to hear you. If this touched your heart, subscribe for more.